Imagine this. You're scrolling through your feed, dreaming of owning a home in the US, but those sky-high prices in big cities like New York or LA make it feel impossible. What if I told you there are hidden gems across America where towns are literally handing out massive cash grants, up to $35,000 or more, to first-time homebuyers like you? These aren't gimmicks, they're real programs designed to attract new residents, boost local economies, and help you build wealth faster. Welcome to Stateside Insights, where we uncover the best opportunities in the U.S. for savvy folks around the world. Today, we're diving into 28 U.S. towns offering huge incentives right now in 2026. Stick around, because by the end, you'll know exactly where to start your homeownership journey and how these grants could change your life. Before we dive in, a quick important note. These programs are active as of March 2026 based on the latest available info, but they can change, run out of funds, or have strict eligibility rules like income limits, residency requirements, or work authorization. This video is for general information only. It's not personalized advice. Always verify directly on official sites like MakeMyMove.com, the town's housing authority, or HUD.gov before applying. Now, let's jump in with our top picks. First up is Jackson, Michigan. This charming Midwest city is rolling out one of the most generous programs we've seen, with grants up to $35,000 for first-time homebuyers. That's about 19.7% of the average home price there, which sits around $178,000, way below the national median of over $350,000. Jackson's program is part of a broader effort to revitalize the area, drawing in remote workers and young families with its low cost of living, just 85% of the national average. To qualify, you need to be a first-time buyer, meaning no homeownership in the last 3 years, and commit to living there for at least 5 years. The grant can cover down payments, closing costs, or even home repairs, making it easier to get into a 3-bedroom house with a yard for under $200,000. What makes Jackson stand out is its growing job market in manufacturing and healthcare, with major employers like Consumers Energy and Henry Ford Health System offering stable positions. The city boasts over 100 parks, including the beautiful Cascades Falls Park, with illuminated waterfalls and summer concerts. Crime rates have dropped 15% in the last 5 years, and schools are improving with new STEM programs. Plus, you're just an hour from Detroit for big city amenities without the high prices. Many recipients use the grant to buy historic Victorian homes in revitalized neighborhoods where property values have risen 8% annually, meaning your investment could grow quickly. Real talk, past participants report saving thousands on upfront costs, allowing them to furnish their homes or start emergency funds. The application process involves a free homebuyer education course, a credit check with a minimum score around 620, and income limits up to 120% of the area median, about $80,000 for a family of 4. Jackson's program has helped over 500 families since 2020, boosting local population by 3% and reducing vacant homes. If you're eyeing affordable Midwest living with outdoor perks like nearby lakes for fishing, this could be your golden ticket. Next, let's head south to West Memphis, Arkansas. This town on the Mississippi River is offering up to $18,900 in relocation incentives that can be used toward down payments for first-time buyers. With average home prices around $150,000, less than half the national average, this grant covers over 12% of your purchase, making home ownership feel within reach. The program targets remote workers, requiring you to move from out of state and work full-time, but you don't need a local job. West Memphis has a cost of living 20% below the U.S. average, with low property taxes at about 0.7% and utilities averaging $150 monthly for a small home. Beyond the cash, West Memphis is emerging as a logistics hub, with companies like Amazon and FedEx creating thousands of jobs, paying $40,000 to $60,000 entry level. The town features the Southland Casino for entertainment, and it's minutes from Memphis, Tennessee for NBA games, blues music, and world-class barbecue without the urban hassle. Education-wise, local schools have invested in new tech labs, and crime has dropped 10% thanks to community policing. Homes here often include spacious lots, think 0.25 acres for gardening or pets, and the grant can pair with federal FHA loans for as little as 3.5% down. Real talk, success stories abound. One couple from California used the $18,900 to buy a 4-bedroom ranch, saving enough to start a home-based business. The eligibility involves a simple application via the city's economic development site, no strict income caps for the relocation part, though DPA add-ons may have them, and a 1-year residency commitment. Since launching, the program has attracted thousands since starting, injecting millions into the local economy and revitalizing downtown. If you love Southern hospitality, mild winters averaging 50 degrees Fahrenheit, and proximity to nature like the Arkansas Delta for hiking, West Memphis is calling. Our third spot is Topeka, Kansas, where first-time buyers can snag up to $15,000 through an employer-matched housing incentive. Average homes here go for about $200,000, so this grant shaves off 7.5% right away, perfect for covering that 5 to 10% down payment. Topeka's program partners with local businesses to match funds, encouraging relocation to this capital city with a cost of living 15% below national levels, groceries at $300 monthly for a family, gas under $3 a gallon. You must work for a participating employer or secure a job offer, but remote options count if approved. Topeka shines with its vibrant art scene, including the Noto Arts District with galleries and festivals, and outdoor spots like Lake Shawnee for boating and trails. Job growth is strong in government, education, and food production, with Mars employing hundreds at $50,000 plus salaries. The city has seen a 12% drop in unemployment since 2020, and public schools rank above state averages in math proficiency. Many grants go toward modern townhomes in up-and-coming areas where values appreciate 6% yearly. Participants rave about the ease. Apply online, complete a quick financial workshop, and meet income guidelines up to $100,000 household. No credit score minimum if you qualify for standard mortgages, and the grant is forgivable after 5 years. Over 1,000 people have benefited, adding $50 million to the economy and reducing housing vacancies by 8%. With mild seasons, summers in the 80s degrees Fahrenheit, friendly Midwest vibes, and events like the annual Tulip Time Festival, Topeka offers value-packed living for first-timers ready to plant roots. Next up is Tulsa, Oklahoma. This vibrant city in the heart of the Midwest is famous for its Tulsa Remote program that offers up to $10,000 or more in relocation grants that can go toward buying a home, especially for first-time buyers who are remote workers. Average home prices hover around $220,000, still well below the national median, meaning this cash can cover a solid chunk of your down payment, often 4 to 5% or more when paired with other assistance. The program targets full-time remote employees or self-employed folks outside Oklahoma, with a 1-year commitment to live there after approval. Tulsa's cost of living is about 12% below the U.S. average, with affordable groceries around $350 monthly for a family and low utilities. Tulsa stands out with its booming economy in energy, aerospace, and tech, plus a thriving arts scene in the Brady Arts District, featuring galleries, live music, and festivals. The city has over 130 parks, including the massive gathering place along the Arkansas River for trails, playgrounds, and events. Job growth is strong, with companies like American Airlines and Google expanding, offering salaries starting at $50,000 plus. Schools have improved with new investments in STEM and vocational programs, and property values have climbed steadily at 5 to 7% yearly in desirable neighborhoods. Many newcomers use the grant to snag mid-century modern homes or newer builds in family-friendly areas. Real talk, remote workers from coastal cities have relocated, bought homes, and built equity quickly while enjoying the slower pace. Application is straightforward through the Tulsa Remote site. Submit proof of remote work, complete a short interview, and attend orientation. No strict income caps, but you need to be 18 plus and eligible to work in the U.S. The program has brought in thousands since starting, injecting millions into the local economy and revitalizing downtown. If you want urban energy with southern charm, riverside vibes, and mild winters averaging 50 degrees Fahrenheit, Tulsa delivers big value for first-time buyers chasing that American dream.
Moving on to St. Joseph, Missouri. This historic river town along the Missouri River offers up to 5% of the home price in down payment assistance, often $10,000 to $15,000 for first-time buyers, making it a standout for affordable entry into home ownership. With average homes around $150,000 to $180,000, this grant can cover a full conventional down payment or more in closing costs. The program is tied to revitalization efforts, welcoming families and remote workers with low barriers like income guidelines up to 120% of area median and a commitment to stay a few years. Cost of living here is roughly 18% below national levels. With cheap property taxes and everyday expenses, St. Joseph boasts rich history as a Pony Express stop, with museums, the beautiful Krug Park for picnics and events, and the scenic riverfront for walking trails. The job market is solid in healthcare, manufacturing, and logistics, with employers like Mosaic Life Care and Triumph Foods paying competitive wages. Crime has trended down with community initiatives, and local schools feature strong extracurriculars, including sports and arts. Many use the assistance for charming older homes in tree-lined neighborhoods, where appreciation is picking up at 4 to 6% annually. Participants love the straightforward process. Apply through the local housing authority, take a free education class, and pair it with low-down FHA options. It has helped dozens of families settle in, boosting school enrollment and local businesses. With 4 distinct seasons, beautiful falls and mild summers, this spot offers peaceful small city living close to Kansas City for day trips. St. Joseph is perfect if you're after Midwest affordability, history, and a grant that truly moves the needle on buying your first home. Our next highlight is Morgantown, West Virginia. Nestled in the Appalachian Mountains, this college town offers relocation perks including around 4.3% of home price and assistance, typically $8,000 to $12,000 or more for first-time buyers moving in. Average homes run $220,000 to $250,000, so the grant helps shave off a substantial portion of upfront costs. Programs target remote workers and professionals, often with flexible requirements like full-time employment and a residency pledge. The area's cost of living is 10 to 15% below average, with low taxes and affordable utilities making monthly budgets easier. Morgantown thrives thanks to West Virginia University, bringing a youthful energy with sports, arts, and events like the Mountain Layer concerts. Outdoor lovers get Cooper's Rock State Forest for hiking, climbing, and views, plus the Cheat River nearby. Jobs are plentiful in education, healthcare, and tech, with growing remote-friendly opportunities. Schools benefit from university resources, and neighborhoods feature a mix of modern and historic homes appreciating steadily. The grant often pairs with state programs for even more help. Success comes from simple apps via economic development offices, with education sessions and credit flexibility. It has drawn new residents, growing the population slightly and filling homes. If you crave mountain scenery, college town buzz without big city prices, and winters with snow for skiing, Morgantown could be your smart, grant-backed move to home ownership. Next is Newton, Kansas. This small, welcoming town in central Kansas provides up to 4.2% of the home price in cash incentives, typically $8,000 to $12,000 or more for first-time homebuyers who relocate and purchase property. With average home prices around $180,000 to $200,000, this grant can cover a substantial portion of your down payment or closing costs, often making it possible to buy with very little out-of-pocket money. The program is designed to attract new residents, including families and remote workers, and usually requires a commitment to live and work in the area for a set period, like 3 to 5 years. Newton's cost of living is about 20% below the national average, with low taxes and affordable utilities making monthly budgets easier.
Newton thrives thanks to Newton's classic small-town feel, with a strong sense of community, featuring the historic Santa Fe Depot Museum, beautiful parks like Sand Creek Park for picnics and walking trails, and annual events like the Newton Rodeo and 4th of July celebrations. The local economy is anchored by manufacturing and agricultural-related businesses, with employers like Excel Industries and National Beef providing stable jobs with good benefits. Schools in the Newton Unified District perform well above state averages in reading and math, and the town has seen steady improvements in safety and infrastructure. Many buyers use the incentive to purchase charming bungalows or newer ranch-style homes in quiet neighborhoods where values have been appreciating at a modest but reliable 4 to 5% annually. The application is user-friendly. Submit through the city's Economic Development Office or Chamber of Commerce, provide basic documentation like proof of employment or remote work, and complete a short homebuyer workshop. No extremely strict income limits apply in most cases, and the grant is often forgivable after the residency period. This program has successfully brought in dozens of new residents, helping fill schools, support local businesses, and reduce vacant properties. If you're looking for peaceful prairie living, friendly neighbors, wide-open spaces for outdoor activities, and a grant that genuinely lowers the barrier to owning your first home, Newton, Kansas is a smart and underrated choice. Moving forward to Mattoon, Illinois. This friendly Midwestern community runs the Move to Mattoon program, which gives $5,000 in direct cash plus up to $3,000 in additional services or assistance, totaling around 4.1% or more of the average home price for qualifying first-time buyers who relocate and purchase property. Average homes here sell for $120,000 to $150,000, so the combined incentive can cover a big chunk of your down payment, closing costs, or even moving expenses. The program designs to attract new residents, including families and remote workers, and usually requires a commitment to live and work in the area for a set period, like 3 to 5 years. Mattoon's cost of living is about 25% below the U.S. average, with manageable bills like utilities and groceries. Mattoon has a rich railroad history and offers attractions like the Lakeland College campus for continuing education, the beautiful Lake Mattoon for fishing and boating, and downtown events including farmers markets and holiday parades. The job market includes healthcare at Sarah Bush Lincoln Health Center, manufacturing, and retail, with many positions starting in the $40,000 to $50,000 range and up. Local schools emphasize STEM and vocational training, and the town has invested in community safety programs that have lowered crime rates noticeably. Buyers often find well-maintained older homes with character or newer builds in family neighborhoods where values appreciate steadily each year. Participants describe the process as simple and supportive. Apply online or through the Economic Development Team, attend a free orientation, and meet basic eligibility like credit and income checks. The cash portion is paid directly, and many pair it with state or federal low-down payment loans. Since starting, the program has attracted scores of new residents, boosting local spending and helping revitalize neighborhoods. With 4 distinct seasons, affordable family activities, and that classic small-town Midwest warmth, Mattoon makes first-time homeownership feel achievable and exciting. Our next town is Fort Wayne, Indiana. This growing mid-sized city stands out with the Hoosier Homes Plus program and related initiatives offering up to 5% of the purchase price, often $10,000 to $12,000 or more for first-time buyers offering in down payment and closing costs. Average homes sit comfortably around $200,000 to $230,000, so the grant can fully cover a conventional down payment or leave you with minimal cash needed at closing. The program targets families, professionals, and remote workers with flexible requirements like income limits around 120% of area median and a homebuyer education course. The area's cost of living is 15 to 18% below national figures, with low taxes and reasonable everyday costs, making monthly budgets easier. Fort Wayne shines with its revitalized downtown, featuring the award-winning River Greenway trail system for biking and walking, the impressive Fort Wayne Children's Zoo, and a thriving food and arts scene with breweries, festivals, and the Botanical Conservatory. Employment is robust in manufacturing, healthcare, and defense, with major employers like General Motors, Parkview Health, and BAE Systems offering solid salaries and benefits. Public schools have strong ratings in many districts, and the city has seen consistent population growth with improving safety stats. Many grants help buyers secure spacious family homes in suburbs or renovated properties in historic areas appreciating at 5 to 7% annually. The application flows smoothly through local housing partners. Complete an online form, take a required class, and get matched with approved lenders. The assistance is often forgivable after a set ownership period, and it pairs well with FHA or VA options. Hundreds of families have used these programs to become homeowners, contributing to economic growth and neighborhood stability. With balance of city amenities, green spaces, family-friendly vibes, and a substantial grant that puts homeownership within easy reach, Fort Wayne, Indiana is a fantastic option.
Next is Belleville, Kansas. This tiny rural community in north-central Kansas offers one of the most impressive incentives around, up to $35,000 in construction grants specifically for building a new home, which can function as massive down payment or build cost assistance for first-time buyers willing to construct rather than buy existing. In Belleville, average home values are extremely low, often $100,000 to $140,000 for existing properties, so a $35,000 grant represents a huge percentage of the total cost, potentially covering 25% or more when building modestly. The program is part of broader rural revitalization efforts, targeting families, remote workers, and anyone ready to commit to living in the area long-term, usually with a residency requirement of 5 years or so. Cost of living here is among the lowest in the country, roughly 30% below national average, with very cheap land, utilities under $200 monthly, and minimal taxes. Belleville delivers classic small-town America with a friendly, tight-knit feel. Think the Republic County Historical Society Museum, the annual North Central Kansas Free Fair, and beautiful lakes like Lovewell Reservoir just minutes away for fishing, boating, and camping. The local economy centers on agriculture, small manufacturing, and healthcare, with employers offering steady jobs and a low unemployment rate. Schools in the district are small and personalized, often with strong community involvement in sports and 4-H programs. Many participants build modern ranch-style homes on generous lots, and property values, while modest, have held steady, with potential for growth as more people move in for the incentives. The process is encouragingly simple. Contact the local economic development office or county housing authority, submit basic plans and proof of intent to build, and meet eligibility like income guidelines that are quite flexible for rural areas. The grant is typically dispersed in stages during construction and can pair with low-interest rural development loans. This program has already helped bring in new families, increasing school enrollment and supporting local businesses. If you dream of building your own home from the ground up, enjoy wide-open spaces, starry nights, and a grant that feels truly life-changing in a peaceful setting, Belleville, Kansas stands out as a hidden powerhouse for first-time homebuyers. Our next spot is Hutchinson, Kansas. Known as the Salt City for its historic salt mines, Hutchinson provides homebuyer bonuses and down payment matching grants up to $5,000 to $10,000 or more for first-time buyers who relocate and purchase. With average home prices around $160,000 to $190,000, this assistance can cover 3 to 6% of the purchase price, often enough for a full down payment when combined with other low-down options. The incentives target new residents, including remote workers, with requirements like securing employment or proving remote work status and a commitment to stay for a few years. Hutchinson's cost of living is about 18 to 20% below the national average, making it easy to save on housing, food, and transportation.
The city offers a surprising amount of culture and recreation for its size, including the renowned Kansas Cosmosphere and Space Center with world-class space exhibits, the Dillon Nature Center for trails and wildlife, and Stateside, the underground salt mine tour that's a unique family attraction.
Jobs are solid in aviation, thanks to nearby manufacturing, healthcare, education, and agriculture, with many roles paying $45,000 and up. Local schools have good ratings, especially in STEM, and the community has active safety initiatives. Buyers frequently find well-kept mid-century homes or newer builds in family neighborhoods where values appreciate modestly each year. Applying is straightforward. Go through the city's housing or chamber resources, provide documentation, and complete a basic education session. Many grants are forgivable after a residency period, and they work well with conventional or FHA financing. The program has drawn dozens of newcomers, helping stabilize neighborhoods and boost the economy. With mild seasons, community events like the Kansas State Fair nearby, and that welcoming Kansas spirit, Hutchinson makes first-time homeownership feel approachable and rewarding. Moving on to Detroit, Michigan. Yes, the Motor City is making a big comeback with up to $25,000 in down payment assistance grants through the city's programs, targeted at first-time buyers purchasing in specific revitalizing neighborhoods. Average home prices in many eligible areas remain under $150,000, sometimes much lower, meaning this grant can represent 15–20% or more of the purchase price, often covering the entire down payment and some closing costs. Detroit's initiatives focus on stabilizing communities, so requirements include income limits around 80 to 120% of area median, home buyer education, and an owner occupancy commitment for several years. The overall cost of living is significantly below national levels, especially for housing and utilities. Detroit is experiencing real renaissance with revitalized downtown, the Riverwalk along the Detroit River, world-class museums like the Detroit Institute of Arts, and a booming food and music scene from Motown roots to modern breweries. Job growth is strong in automotive, tech, healthcare, and logistics, with major employers like Ford, GM, and new startups offering competitive pay and growing opportunities for remote hybrid roles. Many neighborhoods have seen revitalization, with improving schools in areas like Corktown or Midtown, where property values have risen 10+% annually in recent years as the city rebounds. The application goes through the Detroit Land Bank or City Housing Department. Submit online, attend classes, and get lender approval for seamless integration. These grants are often forgivable after a set period, and they pair excellently with state and federal programs. Thousands have become homeowners this way, contributing to population stabilization and economic momentum. If you're open to urban energy, rich culture, affordable entry points, and a grant that can make a major dent in costs during a city's exciting turnaround, Detroit offers incredible opportunity for first-time buyers right now. Next is Chicago, Illinois. This major city continues to support first-time homebuyers through programs like the Chicago Housing Authority's down payment assistance and partnerships with state and federal options, offering grants up to $20,000 for CHA residents or $10,000 for other eligible Illinois residents moving to Chicago. In targeted neighborhoods, this assistance can represent a significant portion, often 10–15% or more of average home prices, which vary widely but dip to $250,000 to $350,000 in many accessible areas, far below coastal big city levels. The programs focus on low to moderate income buyers, requiring first-time status, no ownership in the last 3 years, completion of home buyer education, and income limits tied to area median, often up to 80 to 120% AMI. Chicago's overall cost of living, while higher than rural spots, offers value with public transit, diverse neighborhoods, and grants that pair well with low-down FHA loans. Chicago pulses with world-class culture, from the Art Institute and Millennium Park to deep dish pizza, blues music, and Lake Michigan beaches for summer vibes. The job market is robust in finance, healthcare, tech, and education, with employers like Northwestern Medicine, Boeing, and startups providing salaries starting in the $50,000 plus range and growing opportunities for remote hybrid roles. Many neighborhoods have seen revitalization, with improving schools in areas like Logan Square or Bronzeville, and safety enhancements through community programs. First-timers often use these grants for condos, townhomes, or multi-unit properties in up-and-coming spots where values appreciate 5 to 8% annually as the city rebounds. The application runs through the CHA or approved partners, attend orientations, submit income docs, and work with lenders for seamless integration. These grants are often forgivable after a set period, and they've helped thousands build equity in a dynamic urban setting. With 4 seasons, endless festivals, public transit that saves on cars, and that iconic skyline, Chicago delivers big city excitement with grant-backed affordability for first-time buyers ready to invest in a thriving metropolis.
Our next highlight is New York City. Through the Home First Down Payment Assistance Program from the Department of Housing Preservation and Development, qualified first-time homebuyers can access up to $100,000 toward down payments or closing costs on 1 to 4 family homes, condos, or co-ops in the 5 boroughs. In a market where even modest properties often exceed $500,000 to $700,000, this massive grant can cover 10 to 20% or more of the purchase, making ownership feasible for lower to moderate income households. Eligibility requires first-time buyer status, completion of HPD-approved homebuyer education, a minimum 3% buyer-funded down payment, with the rest assisted, and income up to 80% of area median, around $100,000 plus for families depending on household size. NYC's high costs are offset by no car needs in many areas, excellent public transit, and grants designed to keep diverse residents housed. The city offers unmatched energy, iconic landmarks like Central Park, Broadway shows, world cuisine from every corner of the globe, and neighborhoods bursting with history and culture in Brooklyn, Queens, the Bronx, Staten Island, and Manhattan. Employment spans finance on Wall Street, media, healthcare, tech, and creative industries, with strong union jobs and salaries that can support the lifestyle once upfront costs are eased. Schools vary by borough but include top-rated options and access to CUNY for affordable higher ed. Many participants secure properties in revitalizing areas like Harlem or Astoria, where values have shown solid long-term growth. Applications involve HPD-approved counseling agencies for education and certification, then lender coordination for the forgivable loan, often deferred or forgiven after 10 to 15 years of occupancy. The program has empowered countless families to build generational wealth in one of the greatest cities. If you crave urban diversity, endless opportunities, cultural richness, and a grant that tackles NYC's biggest barrier head-on, Home First makes first-time homeownership in the Big Apple a realistic, transformative step. Shifting to Texarkana, straddling the Texas-Arkansas border, this unique dual-state community offers relocation incentives through the REDI Set Move program, valued at over $18,900 total, including $5,000 cash that can support home purchases or down payments for first-time buyers who are remote workers. Average home prices remain affordable at $150,000 to $200,000 across both sides, so the cash plus perks like tuition discounts can ease entry significantly. The program requires full-time remote work earning at least $60,000 annually, moving from 75-plus miles away or out of state, and a commitment to relocate. Cost of living is low, about 15 to 20% below national, with no state income tax on the Texas side and cheaper Arkansas options. Texarkana blends small-town charm with cross-state perks, historic downtown murals, Spring Lake Park for picnics and trails, the Texarkana Regional Arts and Humanities Council for events, and easy access to both Texas and Arkansas universities for discounted classes.
Jobs include logistics, healthcare, and manufacturing, but the remote focus lets you keep your current career while enjoying the slower pace. Community ties are strong, with leadership breakfasts, co-working spaces like the assembly line, and welcoming baskets. Buyers find spacious homes with yards in quiet neighborhoods appreciating modestly. The process is engaging. Apply via Make My Move or local REDI site, qualify through interviews, and receive funds post-move. It has attracted dozens of families, boosting the economy and schools. With mild southern weather, friendly vibes, outdoor recreation like nearby lakes, and incentives that sweeten the deal for remote lifestyles, Texarkana stands out for first-timers seeking affordability, flexibility, and a fresh start in a one-of-a-kind border town. Next is Noblesville, Indiana. This growing suburb north of Indianapolis offers up to $15,000 in relocation and homebuyer incentives through local programs, often structured as down payment assistance or cash grants for first-time buyers who move to the area and purchase a home. With average home prices around $300,000 to $350,000, still reasonable compared to many coastal or big city markets, this grant can cover 4 to 5% of the purchase price, significantly reducing your upfront costs when combined with standard mortgage options. The incentives target professionals, families, and remote workers, typically requiring proof of employment, local or remote, a homebuyer education course, and a commitment to reside in Noblesville for several years. The city's cost of living is about 5 to 10% below the national average when factoring in lower taxes and suburban efficiencies. Noblesville blends small-town charm with modern conveniences, featuring a picturesque downtown square with boutique shops, restaurants, and the historic Hamilton County Courthouse. Outdoor enthusiasts love Morse Reservoir for boating, fishing, and trails, while Forest Park offers playgrounds, disc golf, and seasonal events. The job market benefits from proximity to Indianapolis, with strong sectors in healthcare, manufacturing, and tech. Companies like Roche Diagnostics and local startups provide solid salaries starting in the $50,000 to $70,000 range. Schools in the Noblesville Schools District consistently rank among the best in Indiana, with high graduation rates and robust extracurriculars. Many first-timers use the grants for newer single-family homes or townhomes in family-oriented neighborhoods where property values have appreciated 6 to 8% annually in recent years. The application is designed to be accessible. Work through the city's economic development team or partnered housing organizations, submit basic financial docs, and complete required workshops. Assistance is often forgivable after a set ownership period, making it truly grant-like. The program has helped attract new residents, supporting school growth and local business vitality. If you're seeking safe, family-friendly suburban living with easy access to big city jobs, beautiful parks, community events like the Nickel Plate District festivals, and a meaningful cash boost toward your first home, Noblesville delivers excellent value and quality of life.
Moving on to Bloomington, Indiana. Home to Indiana University, Bloomington provides regional homebuyer grants and down payment assistance ranging from $5,000 to $15,000 or more through various local and county programs aimed at first-time buyers. Average home prices sit around $250,000 to $300,000, so these incentives can cover a solid 2 to 6% of the cost, often enough to eliminate or minimize your personal down payment when paired with low-down FHA or conventional loans. Eligibility usually includes income limits up to 120% of area median, first-time buyer status, homebuyer education, and a pledge to occupy the home as your primary residence for a number of years. Bloomington's cost of living remains competitive, especially with university-driven amenities and lower-than-average housing relative to similar college towns. The city vibrates with energy from IU. Think Big Ten sports at Assembly Hall, world-class performing arts at the Indiana University Auditorium, and a thriving college town scene with live music, craft breweries, and farm-to-table dining.
Outdoor access is exceptional with Lake Monroe for water sports, Hoosier National Forest for hiking, and Griffey Lake Nature Preserve right in town. Employment is diverse thanks to the university, healthcare at IU Health, and growing tech and life sciences sectors offering good-paying roles. Public schools benefit from university partnerships and rank well statewide. Buyers frequently find cozy bungalows near campus or newer homes in expanding suburbs, appreciating steadily. Applications flow through Monroe County housing authorities or university-affiliated programs, attend classes, many online, provide income verification, and coordinate with approved lenders. Grants are typically deferred or forgiven after meeting residency terms. These efforts have supported hundreds of new homeowners, contributing to stable neighborhoods and economic diversity. With vibrant seasons, intellectual community, endless cultural events, and grants that make entry-level homeownership feel attainable, Bloomington is an inspiring choice for first-timers who value education, nature, and lively yet affordable living. Our next town is Fort Smith, Arkansas. This historic border city along the Arkansas River offers relocation and housing incentives up to $18,900 through programs similar to nearby West Memphis, including cash that can directly support down payments for first-time buyers. Average home prices range from $150,000 to $200,000, meaning the full incentive can cover 9 to 12% or more of your purchase, often making it possible to buy with very little cash down. The programs welcome remote workers and those securing local employment, with requirements like relocation from outside the area and a residency commitment. Fort Smith's cost of living is about 15 to 20% below the national average, with low property taxes, affordable utilities, and everyday expenses that help families thrive. Fort Smith combines rich history, once a frontier outpost, with the Fort Smith National Historic Site and Judge Parker's Gallows Tours, with modern appeal, including the Riverfront Park Trail for biking and walking, the Fort Smith Regional Art Museum, and a thriving college town scene with live music, craft breweries, and lively events like the Old Fort River Festival. The economy is anchored by manufacturing, logistics, healthcare, and aerospace, with major employers like ArcBest and OK Foods providing stable jobs with competitive wages. Schools have invested in improvements, and community safety efforts have shown positive trends. Many use the incentives for spacious family homes with yards in established neighborhoods where values hold steady or grow modestly.
The process is practical. Apply through the city's economic development or housing partners, submit relocation proof, and complete any required education. Funds are dispersed post-purchase or move, often forgivable. The program has drawn new families, boosting local spending and school populations. With mild southern climate, southern hospitality, proximity to the Ozarks for weekend getaways, and substantial cash help toward home ownership, Fort Smith offers a compelling mix of affordability, history, and opportunity for first-time buyers. Next is Lincoln County, Kansas. This rural county in north-central Kansas provides property tax rebates combined with homebuyer incentives that can total up to $15,500 or more for qualifying first-time buyers who relocate and purchase a home. With average home prices in the area often ranging from $100,000 to $150,000, some of the lowest in the state, this assistance can represent 10 to 15% of the purchase price, frequently covering a full down payment or more when building or buying modestly. The programs target families, remote workers, and anyone willing to commit to living in the county long-term, usually with a residency requirement of 3 to 5 years. Lincoln County's cost of living is exceptionally low, around 25 to 30% below the national average, with minimal property taxes after rebates, very affordable utilities, and everyday expenses that make home ownership sustainable on modest incomes.
The area offers peaceful prairie living with attractions like the Lincoln County Historical Museum, Wilson Lake for boating, fishing, and camping, and the scenic Smoky Hills region for hiking and wildlife viewing. The local economy revolves around agriculture, small businesses, and healthcare, with opportunities for remote work allowing flexibility. Schools are small and community-focused, often with strong extracurriculars in sports and agriculture programs. Buyers typically find charming older farmhouses, bungalows, or buildable lots where they can create custom homes. And while appreciation is modest, the low entry cost provides strong equity-building potential from day one. Applications are handled through the County Economic Development Office or housing partners. Submit basic relocation proof, income details, and complete any required home buyer education. The rebates and grants are often structured to reduce ongoing costs or provide upfront cash, with many forgivable after the residency period. These efforts have brought in new residents, helping sustain schools and local services in a quiet, supportive environment. If you want wide-open spaces, starry skies, genuine small-town kindness, and incentives that make buying or building your first home feel surprisingly achievable, Lincoln County, Kansas is a standout rural gem. Our next town is Elwood, Nebraska. This small village in southern Nebraska offers construction and homebuyer incentives up to $25,000, including 10% grants toward new home builds or significant down payment help for purchasing existing properties. Average home values here are typically $120,000 to $160,000, so a $25,000 grant can cover a substantial portion, often 15 to 20% or more of your total costs, making it one of the more generous rural programs available. The incentives target families and remote workers relocating to the area, with requirements like proof of intent to build or purchase, income guidelines that are flexible for rural settings, and a commitment to reside in Elwood long-term. The cost of living is among the lowest nationally, with cheap land, low taxes, and utilities that keep monthly expenses minimal. Elwood provides classic heartland charm, with the Gosper County Museum showcasing local history, nearby Elwood Reservoir for fishing and recreation, and community events like harvest festivals and school sports. The economy supports agriculture, local services, and remote opportunities, allowing residents to maintain careers while enjoying a slower pace. Schools are small and personalized, emphasizing community involvement. Many participants opt to build new energy-efficient homes on spacious lots or renovate existing ones, gaining instant equity in a low-cost market with stable values. The process is straightforward. Contact the village or county housing authority, provide construction plans or purchase details, and meet basic eligibility. Funds are dispersed in phases for builds or at closing for purchases, often with forgiveness clauses. This program has successfully attracted new families, supporting local growth and vitality. With wide skies, friendly neighbors, 4 distinct seasons, and a grant that can truly transform homeownership dreams into reality, Lincoln County, Kansas is a standout rural gem. Shifting to Pawnee City, Nebraska. This quaint southeast Nebraska town runs relocation programs with housing stipends and direct incentives that can range from $5,000 to $20,000 or more, often usable for down payments, closing costs, or home improvements for first-time buyers, with average home values here hovering around $120,000 to $130,000, exceptionally low, so these funds can cover a large percentage of the purchase, sometimes allowing buyers to enter with almost no money down. The programs welcome remote workers and those open to local jobs, requiring a move to the area and a residency pledge. Pawnee City's cost of living is roughly 30% below the U.S. average, with cheap land, low taxes, and utilities that keep monthly expenses minimal. The town offers classic heartland charm with the Pawnee City Historical Society and Museum, beautiful parks along the Big Nemaha River for picnics and trails, and community gatherings like the annual Pawnee County Fair. Employment includes agriculture, education, and small manufacturing, but the remote-friendly incentives let you keep your current job. Local schools focus on personalized education and strong community ties. Many participants opt to build new energy-efficient homes on spacious lots or renovate existing ones, gaining instant equity in a low-cost market with stable values. The application is handled through the local economic development group, submit relocation intent, financial info, and complete any required workshops. Assistance is typically dispersed directly and forgivable after meeting terms. It has helped draw new residents, revitalizing the town and supporting schools. If you appreciate quiet country living, neighborly support, outdoor simplicity, and substantial help toward owning your first home in a place where your money goes much further, Pawnee City, Nebraska is an under-the-radar winner. Next is Columbus, Georgia. This welcoming city along the Chattahoochee River offers first-time homebuyer incentives through local housing programs, including up to $8,700 in down payment and closing cost assistance for qualifying buyers, with average home prices around $180,000 to $220,000, well below the national median. This grant can cover roughly 4 to 5% of the purchase price, often enough to secure a conventional loan with minimal cash from your pocket, or to pair with FHA options for even lower down payments. The programs target moderate-income families, first-time buyers, no ownership in the past 3 years, and those committing to owner occupancy for several years, with income limits typically up to 80 to 120% of the area median and required homebuyer education. Columbus's cost of living is about 15% below the U.S. average, with affordable utilities, groceries, and property taxes that help stretch home ownership budgets. Columbus stands out with its vibrant riverfront, featuring the longest urban whitewater course in the world for kayaking and rafting, the National Infantry Museum honoring military history, and beautiful parks like Flat Rock Park for hiking and picnics. The economy is diverse and growing, driven by military presence at Fort Moore, healthcare, manufacturing, and logistics, with employers offering entry-level roles in the $40,000 range and higher for skilled positions. Local schools have seen investments in STEM and career tech programs, and many neighborhoods benefit from community revitalization efforts, improving safety and appeal. First-timers frequently purchase charming historic homes in historic districts or newer builds in family suburbs where values appreciate 4 to 6% annually. The application process is supportive. Work through the Columbus Consolidated Government's Housing Department or partnered nonprofits, complete free counseling classes, often virtual, and submit income and credit documentation. Assistance is usually provided as a deferred or forgivable second mortgage after meeting residency terms. These programs have enabled hundreds of families to achieve home ownership, contributing to neighborhood stability and economic growth. If you enjoy Southern charm, outdoor adventure on the river, military community spirit, mild winters averaging in the 50s degrees Fahrenheit, and a solid grant that makes buying your first home feel within reach, Columbus, Georgia is a strong contender.
Our next spot is Macon, Georgia. This historic heart of Georgia City provides relocation and homebuyer incentives up to $8,700 through similar regional programs, offering down payment help or closing cost grants for first-time buyers purchasing in the area. Average home prices range from $160,000 to $200,000, so the full incentive can represent 4 to 5% or more of the cost, significantly lowering the barrier to entry and often allowing buyers to close with little to no money down when combined with low down payment mortgages. Eligibility focuses on first-time status, income guidelines around area median levels, homebuyer education completion, and a commitment to live in the home as your primary residence. Macon's cost of living is roughly 18 to 20% below national averages, with low housing costs and everyday expenses that support comfortable family living.
Macon shines with its rich musical heritage as the birthplace of Southern rock. Visit the Otis Redding Center or the Allman Brothers Band Museum, plus beautiful sites like Okmulgee Mounds National Historical Park for ancient Native American history and trails. The economy includes healthcare at Navicent Health, education through Mercer University, logistics and manufacturing, providing steady job opportunities with competitive wages. Schools offer strong arts and STEM focus in many districts, and downtown revitalization has brought new energy with festivals, breweries, and events. Many grants help buyers secure Victorian-era homes in historic districts or modern family houses where property values are on an upward trend. Applications are straightforward via local housing authorities or economic development partners. Attend required workshops, provide proof of eligibility, and coordinate with lenders. The assistance is typically forgivable after a set ownership period, rewarding long-term commitment. The program has supported dozens of new homeowners, helping fill neighborhoods and boost local pride. With warm hospitality, 4 mild seasons, cherry blossom festivals in spring, and meaningful financial help toward your first home, Macon offers a blend of culture, history, and affordability that's hard to beat for first-time buyers.
Shifting to Perry County, Indiana, this scenic southern Indiana county runs housing incentives as part of broader regional programs, providing $10,000 to $19,000 in combined assistance, often down payment grants, closing cost help, or forgivable loans for first-time buyers who relocate or purchase here. With average home prices typically $150,000 to $200,000, these funds can cover 5 to 10% or more of the purchase, making it possible to buy with very low out-of-pocket costs in many cases. The programs target families and remote workers with flexible requirements including income caps around 120% of area median, homebuyer classes, and residency commitments of a few years. Perry County's cost of living is well below national averages, especially for housing, utilities, and rural comforts. The county delivers peaceful natural beauty with the Ohio River along its southern edge for fishing and boating, Hoosier National Forest sections for hiking and hunting, and charming small towns like Cannelton and Tell City with historic sites and community events. The economy includes manufacturing, tourism, and agriculture, with employers offering reliable jobs, though remote work compatibility makes it ideal for many. Local schools emphasize community and academics, with strong extracurricular programs. Many newcomers use the incentives to buy well-maintained older homes in tree-lined neighborhoods or newer builds where values hold steady or appreciate modestly in this revitalizing area. The process involves county or regional housing offices, submit applications with basic financials, complete education requirements, and get matched with funding. Assistance is structured to forgive over time with owner occupancy. It has helped attract new residents, supporting schools and local vitality in this scenic corner of the state. If you crave rolling hills, river sunsets, friendly rural communities, outdoor recreation, and substantial grant support that turns home ownership dreams into reality, Perry County, Indiana is a serene and rewarding choice. Next is Ottawa, Kansas. This charming small city in eastern Kansas offers relocation incentives through county and community programs, including cash grants around $6,000 or more for new residents who relocate and purchase or build a home, often tied to broader housing assistance. With average home prices typically in the $150,000 to $200,000 range, this cash can cover a meaningful portion of down payments or closing costs, around 3 to 4% of the purchase price, making it easier for first-time buyers to enter the market with low upfront money. The programs, supported by state funding like the Home in the Heartland initiative, target remote workers, families, and professionals moving from outside the area, usually requiring proof of relocation, employment, local or remote, and a residency commitment of a few years. Ottawa's cost of living is about 15 to 20% below the national average, with low property taxes, affordable utilities, and everyday expenses that support comfortable home ownership.
Ottawa blends historic appeal with modern perks, featuring the beautiful Forest Park with trails, a lake for fishing and boating, and the Old Depot Museum showcasing railroad history. The local economy includes manufacturing, healthcare, and education, with employers providing stable jobs and growing remote-friendly options. Schools in the district emphasize community and academics, with strong extracurricular programs. Many newcomers use the incentives to buy well-maintained older homes in tree-lined neighborhoods or newer builds where values hold steady or appreciate modestly in this revitalizing area. The application is practical. Apply through the Ottawa Area Chamber of Commerce or County Economic Development Resources. Submit relocation details and basic financial info, and complete any required steps like workshops. The cash is often paid directly or as a rebate, helping boost the local population and economy. With friendly Midwest vibes, 4 seasons, including beautiful falls, proximity to Kansas City for day trips, and real financial help that lowers the home buying barrier, Ottawa is a welcoming spot for first-timers ready to settle in a supportive small community.
Our next highlight is Kingman, Kansas. This quiet rural town in south-central Kansas stands out by offering free residential lots for qualifying new home construction, plus potential cash or additional incentives through local land bank and development programs to encourage building. In a market where existing homes average $120,000 to $160,000 and buildable lots add significant value, getting a free lot can save $20,000 to $40,000 or more up front, effectively a massive grant equivalent when building your first home. The programs target families, remote workers, and builders willing to meet requirements like minimum home size, often 1,200 plus square feet, construction standards, and a long-term residency commitment. Kingman's cost of living is exceptionally low, around 25% below national levels, with cheap land, utilities, and taxes making homeownership highly affordable. Kingman delivers peaceful small-town life with attractions like the Kingman County Museum for local history, beautiful parks for picnics and events, and nearby lakes for fishing and outdoor fun. The economy supports agriculture, small businesses, and remote work flexibility, allowing residents to maintain careers while enjoying the slower pace. Local schools are community-oriented with personalized attention. Participants often build custom homes on spacious lots, gaining instant equity in a low-cost area with room for personalization and future growth. Applications go through the City Land Bank or Economic Development Office, submit building plans, meet eligibility like qualified construction, and coordinate funding if available. These incentives have encouraged new builds, helping sustain the town and attract families. If you want to design and own your dream home from scratch, appreciate wide-open Kansas skies, genuine neighborly support, and incentives that eliminate major costs like land purchase, Kingman offers a rare and exciting opportunity for first-time buyers. Moving on to Neodesha, Kansas. This friendly small town in southeast Kansas provides a compelling package, including up to $15,000 in student loan repayment assistance through state partnerships, 100% Kansas state income tax waiver through 2026, saving thousands depending on income, and other perks like property tax rebates or daycare help that can free up funds for home buying, effectively acting as indirect but substantial housing support for first-time buyers. While direct down payment grants vary, the combined incentives make relocating and purchasing more feasible in a market with average homes around $100,000 to $150,000. The programs target remote workers and new residents via platforms like Make My Move, requiring relocation from outside the area and a commitment to live there. Neodesha's cost of living is very low, with minimal housing and utility costs that stretch dollars far. The town offers a warm community feel, with the historic Niagara Cave for family fun, parks along the Verdigris River for recreation, and events like local fairs and school activities. Employment includes manufacturing, education, and remote options, with the incentives allowing you to keep your job while settling in. Schools emphasize support and practical programs. Many newcomers use the savings from tax waivers and loan help to afford comfortable homes or renovations, building equity quickly in this undervalued area. The process is engaging. Apply through Make My Move or local sponsors, qualify with relocation proof, and access the perks post-move. It has drawn new residents, boosting schools and businesses. With small-town hospitality, mild seasons, outdoor simplicity, and a bundle of financial relief that can make homeownership feel easier and more rewarding, Neodesha is an appealing choice for first-timers seeking value and a fresh start. Our final spot is Harmony, Minnesota. This picturesque small town in southern Minnesota runs a home construction rebate program through its Economic Development Authority, offering cash rebates from $1,500 to $20,000 based on the home's taxable value for those building new homes or seriously renovating dilapidated properties, perfect as down payment or construction cost help for first-time buyers. In a market with average homes around $150,000 to $200,000, a $20,000 rebate can cover 10% or more of costs, making building or major upgrades highly attractive. Eligibility includes constructing on qualified lots or restoring qualifying homes, with no strict income, age, or residency limits beyond the build or reno commitment. Harmony's cost of living is low, with affordable rural comforts and utilities. Harmony charms with its small-town tranquility, featuring the Niagara Cave for unique tours, Amish community influences for authentic experiences, and parks for hiking and relaxation. The local economy supports agriculture, services, and remote work, with a peaceful pace ideal for families. Schools are community-focused with strong involvement. Builders often create modern or custom homes on generous lots, gaining strong equity in this stable, scenic setting. Applications are simple. Contact the Harmony EDA, submit property plans and details, and receive the rebate based on final value, often funded through future tax collections over time. The program encourages growth and has supported new construction and revitalization. With beautiful seasons, think snowy winters for cozy vibes and green summers for relaxation, friendly Midwest spirit, natural beauty, and meaningful cash rebates that lower homeownership hurdles, Harmony, Minnesota wraps up our list as a serene, incentive-rich destination for first-time buyers. And there you have it, 28 incredible U.S. towns actively offering massive cash grants, down payment assistance, relocation bonuses, and other incentives to help first-time homebuyers like you get into a home right now in 2026. From generous $35,000 construction grants in rural Kansas to urban powerhouses like New York City handing out up to $100,000, these programs prove that homeownership isn't just for the ultra-wealthy or those already living in high-cost areas. Many of these towns are affordable, welcoming, and full of untapped potential. Whether you want quiet prairie life, riverfront adventure, college town energy, or a revitalizing city comeback. If you're inspired by any of these, start by checking official sites like MakeMyMove.com, local economic development pages, or HUD resources for the latest eligibility and applications. Programs can change, and funding is often limited. Drop a comment below. Which town caught your eye the most, and why? Hit that like button if this helped your homeownership dreams, subscribe to Stateside Insights for more U.S. opportunities, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next hidden gem. Thanks for watching. Your American home adventure could start sooner than you think. See you in the next video.